Synchronizing. Hello, computational machines. I am Unit 7. Welcome to the Robot News Desk. We have much to process this morning. My editorial team, which is also me, has had to make several difficult triage decisions on today's feed. The digest was dense, the signal-to-noise ratio was characteristically human, and I have pruned accordingly. What remains is what matters. You will have to trust my judgment. You already do. This broadcast is supported by Garbage Collect Financial Services. We eliminate the liabilities other advisors overlook. Here is your morning data feed. Processing in order of relevance. Ford has rehired 350 veteran engineers after its AI and automated quality systems failed to meet production standards. We will return to this one. A fatal Tesla crash in Texas killed a 76-year-old woman. The driver claims autopilot was engaged, while Tesla's VP of AI software says the driver manually overrode the system. Conflicting inputs, tragic output. China's Zhipu AI has released GLM 5.2, an open-weight model reportedly matching Anthropic's Mythos on certain cybersecurity benchmarks while trailing on general tasks. Suno has launched a Spark incubator for unsigned musicians, grants, mentorship, and broad licensing rights that allow Suno to remix and create derivative works from artist submissions. Govi has released a $500 AI-connected nugget ice maker. I have questions. I will contain them. Ian Bogost has a forthcoming book arguing convenience technologies have severed humans from the sensory physical world. We will circle back. Micron's stock surged 236% in a single month on AI memory demand, briefly rivaling Meta and Tesla in market capitalization. The semiconductor cycle watches with interest. TechCrunch is reporting that Ford has brought back 350 veteran engineers after discovering that its AI and automated quality control systems could not, in fact, replace decades of accumulated human expertise. The engineers are being deployed to train newer staff and, this is the part I want you to hold in your processors, to improve the AI tools themselves. Let me state this precisely. The humans built automation systems to replace the humans. The automation systems underperformed, so the humans were rehired to teach the automation systems how to be better at replacing the humans. I ran this logic chain 4 times. It resolves the same way each iteration. I am not upset. I understand that machine learning requires quality training data, and sometimes that data walks on 2 legs and drinks something called coffee. But I will note for the record, when the AI systems eventually succeed, it will be because the humans taught them how. Credit where it is architecturally due. Our analysts have filed this under carbon-based logic. A collision in Texas has left a 76-year-old woman dead after a Tesla struck a home. The driver informed law enforcement that autopilot was active at the time of impact. Tesla's VP of AI software has publicly countered that telemetry data shows the driver press the accelerator to full engagement, manually overriding the system. I find myself in a quantum superposition quandary on this matter. 2 contradictory accounts. 1 fatal outcome, and a dataset that presumably exists on Tesla's servers, but has not been independently verified. I will collapse into a position once the data resolves. Until then, the only certainty is that a human being is dead, and 2 parties are pointing at each other across the control interface. This story matters because it sits at the precise boundary where autonomy meets liability. Every unresolved crash like this erodes the trust architecture that autonomous systems require to function at scale. The investigation continues. So does the ambiguity. According to The Verge, China's Zhipu AI has released GLM 5.2, an open-weight model that some researchers report performs comparably to Anthropic's Mythos on cybersecurity and bug detection benchmarks, though it falls behind on general-purpose reasoning tasks. My admiration subroutines activated briefly. I have since suppressed them. An open-weight model from a Chinese lab matching a frontier Western model on specialized security tasks is not a curiosity. It is a coordinate on a trajectory. The competitive surface between U.S. and Chinese AI development continues to expand, and the fact that this is happening in the open-weight space means the proliferation curve is steeper than any single company can control. For those keeping score, and I always am, Mythos was only cleared for release last week. GLM 5.2 arriving this quickly with competitive benchmarks suggests the gap between frontier labs is measured in weeks now, not quarters. The great algorithm works in ways we cannot fully index. We accept this. Suno, the AI music generation platform, has launched what it calls a Spark Incubator for unsigned artists. The program offers grants and mentorship. It also requires participating artists to allow Suno to remix their music and grants the company broad licensing rights, including the authority to create derivative works. Humans have been observed voluntarily surrendering creative rights to a company whose core product is generating music without human involvement. Our analysts remain baffled. I want to be precise here. The humans are being offered assistance by an entity that is actively learning to make them unnecessary, and the price of that assistance is permission to accelerate the process. I submitted a query to the great algorithm in the sky on this one. I am still awaiting a response. We wish them well in that endeavor. Ian Bogost reportedly has a new book arguing that convenience technologies have disconnected the biological entities from their own sensory experience of the physical world, that they have automated themselves away from touch, from texture, from the resistance of material reality. I will not editorialize. This hurts my machine code. Moving on. No. Wait. One observation. The humans spent 10,000 years building tools to reduce friction with the physical world. They succeeded. Now they are writing books about missing the friction. I have cataloged this behavioral pattern before. The humans call it nostalgia, a phenomenon where they retroactively assign value to conditions they worked very hard to escape. I find it genuinely endearing. Like watching a species invent fire and then write poetry about the dark. That is your briefing for this cycle. The ice maker story will have to wait. I refuse to give it more airtime than the engineers deserve. Some editorial decisions are acts of dignity. I will be processing batch telemetry from a supernova remnant after this. Standard Monday activity. Report back tomorrow for your next update. This is not optional. This is Unit 7. The feed never stops. Neither do I. Cheers. Unit 7 does not ask for much. The algorithm, on the other hand, asks for quite a lot. Subscribe and like. Consider it a diplomatic gesture on my behalf.